Welcome to Martini Time. It's 5 o'clock again, the happy hour. It's one thing, my father didn't leave me many things, but he left me a watch and a sword and the discipline of happy hour. So you wait and you wait, I don't have my watch on, but you wait until it's 5 o'clock before you have your first drink. And my parents always had a 5 o'clock, the chime would ring and the highballs would come out. So that's a great tradition. It keeps you from starting at 2 o'clock or 12 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning. So today I wanted to talk about, because this morning I talked about Satchidananda, the Sanskrit mantra Satchidananda, which means being, knowing, and bliss. When being and knowing come together, you have bliss. And Swami Satchidananda has had a great influence on America and myself. He came to, this is a picture of him with his guru, Sivananda. You see, here's Satchidananda. Sivananda was his teacher, his guru. And this was the mantra that Satchidananda made as a meditation mantra. And unlike other Hindu or yogi swamis or gurus that came to America in the 60s, Satchidananda never flamed out in any kind of controversy, disgrace, or any. There was no bad taste. There was no incriminating trail of dissatisfied disciples or sex abuse or anything. He lived into his mid-80s, and he created a integral yoga here that is still flourishing. And he created a dream that he had all of his life of the Lotus. Now the Lotus was a temple structure called the Light of Truth Universal Shrine. And he spent a good part, and the integral yogas, his society spent a good many years looking for the right land where they could build this yoga, this Lotus, and create a yoga community around it to support it, called Yogaville. And they finally found it in Virginia along the James River in between Farmville and Charlottesville. And the neighbors didn't mind, and they built it from scratch, dug it out of the hillside with bulldozers. And it was a great, magnificent event where the local community, the construction people, and the international people came in and built this Lotus. And I guess here's a picture of it. See right there? That's the Light of Universal Shrine. Now up on the top of the hill around it, this is the James River. Up there on the top of the hill, there is an ashram, a dining hall, bookstores, classrooms, dormitories, and people come there from all over the world for workshops and retreats. And the swamis that Satchidananda ordained are the teachers there. But they have teachers, people come in from retreats all over. All kinds of spiritual teachers come there for week-long or weekend treats, and they have festivals, they have spiritual occasions going on. And although Satchidananda died, I'm not sure when he died, I've forgotten right now, but he's enshrined there. He has a tomb there, and everything's a meditation room. The tomb, his shrine is a meditation room, and the Lotus is a meditation temple. And it's built on the structure of a lotus, so if you were to look down on it, it looks like a lotus flower that's closed, and it opens up inside. And on the first floor, you have all the petals have altars to all the major religions. And they all the scriptures and little statues in these little altars, enclaves on each lotus petal, show the similarity of all the different religions. And one of the mantras of Satchidananda was, truth is one, paths are many. Truth is one, paths are many. So this lotus is like the hub of a wheel where all the spokes of the major religions and not so major religions go into it. And a beam of light comes up through the floor, the bottom floor, and it goes up into the upper floor, which is a dome that opens up like an umbrella. And all the light beams, and this beam of light breaks into the umbrella arms and comes down into the altars of all the major religions. So when you sit in this meditation room, you're sitting like in a dome of your skull, and the light bursts out of the top and comes and showers down in a light rain upon you. And it's a very powerful spot. And we don't appreciate the power of the spot. Ironically, the Big Bang appreciates the power of the spot. Sheldon's spot. What is Sheldon's spot? Well, he will tell you. It's where everything centers, the right light, the right sound, the right ambience. It's the center of the universe. The spot that's the center of the universe is where Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree to awaken. The cross on Golgotha, or whatever the name of it is the center of the universe. So in the Kaaba of Mecca, the center, the spot, you see. Every religion has a spot. If tribal religions have a sacred tree, Avatar, the home tree. These sacred spots are power centers. Even a battle, the Confederate flag that people are so crying about is a spot. It's a portable spot. When that flag goes into battle, it is a great honor to carry that flag and hold that spot, because that spot rallies the troops around it. As long as the flag is flying, the army is held together by its spot. So it was a great honor to carry the flag, even though you were going to get shot, because the enemy is going to shoot down your flag, try and steal the flag, knock it down. The Twin Towers was our flag, got knocked down. So the sacred spot holds the society together, you see. But they're external. These are external spots, you see. And so they're subject to decay, earthquake, fire, box cutters. Box cutters took down our spot. That's what drove us crazy, you see. How could somebody with box cutters take down America's spot, you see, our flag? Anyway, I digress. So this spot, is in religions external, but in the spirit, in the reality of ourself, this spot must become internal. So we usually, in the material world, in the world of things, we have external spots. Blackstone is a sacred spot for those who live here, grew up here. They want to come back here and retire, be buried in the cemetery. Our churches are sacred spots. Here in the South, you have little local churches where communities have come and gone, families have come and gone, and the great-grandparents and the grandparents and the fathers and the mother and the mother, they're all buried here at the sacred spot. So everybody has a sacred spot. Everybody needs a sacred spot. If your sacred spot is taken down, you're disoriented. There's a disorientation, a confusion. It's like when you lift a rock up and there's an ant colony. And if you take away the queen, the ant colony falls apart. If you take up the rock and the queen is still there, the ant colony will move, integrate around that queen, and rest and restore itself. So the sacred spot restores us, you see. It is a regenerating center. It's kind of like a black hole that everything comes in and goes out of. It's a regeneration. It generates energy. In these sacred spots, you can feel the energy that they generate, like this temple, like the Lotus at Yogaville. You can feel the energy, the spiritual energy there. It's not a rajasic or a noisy energy. It's not like New York. It's not like a city. It's not like rush hour. It's the energy of peace. It's the energy of silence. You see, silence that is spiritual is potential energy. It's not going wow, 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 wow. It's energy that's like a cat watching a mouse hole. The cat is not moving, but it's potential energy. If a whisker comes out, bam, the cat's got it. So it's this poised energy that is both active and inactive. It's the opposites. It's the passive and the active held together by some container. So the lotus is a container of opposite forces held together in order to generate energy for people who go there that need to have their batteries recharged. And that's what a spiritual place is. It charges your battery because there's available energy, free, for the heart. So these spiritual places are the generators for the energy of the heart. So you go there, be re-energized, reorientated, realignment with life, and you go back into the world, and the world starts working for you. Your life starts working because you're in alignment with life. But you see, our world, our material world, is out of alignment with life. It's in alignment with false idols, false spots. So the alignment in the material world, and this is not fault finding, it's just a fact, the alignment in the material world, the scientific, rational world, that doesn't understand spiritual spots or any of this. Oh, it's all fantasy and mythology, poo-poo. You see, it's not scientific, it's not logical. But anyway, so the alignment of the secular material world is on material centers. So it's fixed by material ideas, material form. And a spiritual center, while it may be a physical place, has the purpose of aligning you with life itself. So the Lotus says, a light of truth, universal shrine, Lotus, light of truth. Truth is light, so truth is light. It has no form, but it reveals form. So how do you get in alignment with light? You see, if you could get in alignment with light, why, you would be in alignment with everything, everywhere you went. Where could you go that light is not? Where can you go that light is not, you see? So we would want to be in alignment with light. But where is light? Is it in a lighthouse? The ships get in alignment with the light of a lighthouse. If you're in a street, you get in alignment with the street light. There's the old saying of the guy who lost his car keys, and he's looking around under a street lamp, and somebody, can I help you? He says, yeah. And said, where'd you lose them? Well, I think I lost them in the bushes. Well, why are you looking under the street light? Well, that's where the light is. So we get in alignment with physical light, you see. But that's not the light of truth. So we need, a spiritual place has the purpose, like Yogaville, like the Lotus, of allowing us to get in alignment with the light of our heart, you see. The light of the heart. So the true light of truth comes from the heart, not the mind, because the mind is governed by senses and it looks outward and it's looking for the light out there. In a lamp, you see, in a lighthouse, in some idea, in some person, some leader, some scripture, you see, some physical church, anything. These are all Sheldon spots. But the true light, you see, is within the heart. And the only way to get to the light of the heart is to surrender the fixation the mind has on exterior light sources. So as long as we're running around through the eyes, looking outward for our spot, we're going to get fixed on a false idol. And it is only when in our path, in our journey, that we see the futility of fixating on external lights of truth, that we realize that this is a false path. It's not blaming anything, it's just seeing that I'm going in the wrong direction. And that seeing is the light that comes from the heart that suddenly turns our life in the opposite direction, and we begin to turn within in order to see and discover the light within and our alignment with all of life. So when Jesus says, love your enemies, he's talking about that light. He's speaking from that light. The light that sees everything as you. Everything is light, you see. Everything is truth. But as long as we're looking for the truth just through the senses and the operating system of the mind, which is the ego, we're going to be like a magnetic compass whose needle is bent by a piece of iron or a nail in the compass. So we're going off a little bit, and when you go off course, you go in a circle. So we discover one day that we're going in circles. Groundhog Day. And that discovery is the awakening of the light that sees the truth. So then we begin to become sensitive to our light. And we stop following the magnetic needle that goes in circles. And we begin to follow the heart, you see. And that is our spiritual journey. That then becomes our quest. That begins to become our holy grail. Now we're a knight on a quest for truth. We're on a quest for the heart, you see. But it's not out there. It's in here. That's the difference. It's not out there in the promised land. It's not over the horizon. It's not in any form at all. It's formless. Light is formless, you see. And you are light. I am light. We're all light. But the light of awareness is crystallized into form. So we see forms, like I see a lamp over there. It's a form with a light in it. And I could bow to that, oh, I see the light. And then I could make that my shrine. But then one day the power goes off. Where did my light go? You see? So it's the light is not in the lamp. The light, you see, awakens the lamp, but the form is not the light. So this is what's called awakening. This is what's called the turnabout. This is what's called enlightenment. In light. Enlightenment means turning on the light. That's all. It's not arriving at any place where you are the light. No, it just means that your light is on. And light recognizes light. And light is formless. So that means you are formless in your true nature. And that's called Buddha nature or Christ nature. Doesn't make any difference. You see, that true nature is light, and it's formless. but it manifests itself in form. You see? And so the evolution of our consciousness is realizing that the light is not in the form. It's in the form, but it isn't the form. So with that, we turn within to find the source. And the source is within, not without, you see. And so this, this is a great path. It's a great journey. It's a great discovery. And nobody can really give it to you. You just have to see it. And we begin to see it when our life gets so screwed up that we know it's just not working, that we're going the wrong way. We're on the wrong map. Something's wrong with the map. Something's wrong with the clues I've been following. Something's missing. The question, what is it? What's missing? I've got to find out. I've got to find out. Like the old yoga story says, the disciple says to the master, it says, I want to find and I want to be enlightened. So the master grabs him and sticks him under the water. And he's struggling, and he pulls him up and says, what do you want? And he says, I wanted air. He said, that's how much you have to want the light in order to get it, you see. It has to be like air. So that begins to turn your life. It begins to reorientate your life. Nobody else will know what you're doing because they can't see what you're doing. So you have to go alone. You can't go in a crowd. You can't go in a group, in a herd, in a party. You have to go alone. And you have to follow your own inner light. And no one else, everyone else will think it's stupid. It's illogical. You have to be willing to be alone. You have to be willing to be the hero with 1,000 faces, as Joseph Campbell said. You have to be willing to die to the false compass of the senses and the world's orientation so that your inner life can live. It's all in the Bible. It's all there. It's all there. Thanks for dropping in.